Welcome to this presentation of UPSL Soccer Action, live on YouTube and presented by the Atlantic Soccer Media Group.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the UPSL Premier Division Spring Georgia week number 3. We got a heated matchup for you tonight of Dalton United versus FC Birmingham. Stick around, you won't want to miss this. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the UPSL Premier Division here in Georgia. Actually, we've taken a quick trip down I-20, and we're here in Leeds to watch the home match for FC Birmingham as they take on Dalton United. My name is Stephen Johnson. I'll be your commentator for tonight's proceedings. Drew Dickinson, of course, about to make his WWE debut over at WrestleMania, so all ups to him, but when the play-by-play is away, the color commentators will play. I'm also joined, of course, by Lars, who is working his magic behind the scenes, but hey, we've still got a heated matchup for you here tonight in what I'm going to have to say is a very busy week number 3 in the spring season here. Before we get too deep into this matchup, let's quickly bring you around the league and paint you guys the picture of what's been happening here in the UPSL this season. So, as I did mention, we are now entering into match week number 3. Of course, home team FC Birmingham taking on Dalton United. FC Birmingham only having one match played thus far. Currently sports a 1-0-0, that's one win record, racking up 3 points in their previous matchup. They currently sit third place on the table. Early days, but certainly it's a place that the Birmingham side are going to be very happy to be inhabiting. Whereas on the other side, a bit of a rockier start for Dalton United, who've made the long trip out here. All the way out here to Leeds, like I mentioned, right down I-20. Sorry for that, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, cut away quickly to the national anthem, which means it is just about time for us to kick off here, right at FC Birmingham's home. Quick recap what we were hitting on before. FC Birmingham currently coming into match week number 3, 1-0-0 record, 3 points in the bag, sitting third place on the table. Dalton United in their first season here in the Premier League after basically a phenomenal run in the lower division. They're off to a bit of a rockier start here. 0-2-0 means they've got 2 draws currently in the bag, 2 points to show for it over in 6th place. Those 2 teams they did get draws against, they're certainly nothing to sniff at. In the first week, Kalanji, they put up a 2-2 scoreline, so keeping themselves on the board with at least 1 point to take away from that meeting. Then in match week number 2, LGSA, similar situation, where they go for a 1-1 scoreline to bring 1 point home with them. And now they're going up against so far a perfect FC Birmingham, who are not only have a perfect record thus far with 1-0-0, which, I mean, to be fair, is pretty solid over a 1-game window, but have yet to concede a goal. So we'll have to see what FC Birmingham and Coach Gofar are going to be able to do here on their home turf. We got FC Birmingham in their very beautiful yellow kits, going left to right across your screen. And the kickoff will be starting, and match week number 3 is underway. Dalton United with the ball. They're going to throw it forward as quickly as humanly possible. FC Birmingham maintaining possession. And looking at the roster sheets that we got earlier on tonight. Hobbling here in the backfield. Turnover almost immediately. That's a shot on goal. And already putting something forward. And FC Birmingham's got to be a little bit careful there. Dalton United really didn't have to do a lot to get Birmingham to turn over. One thing I want to hit on here is that Birmingham are coming out of what looks like a 3-4-2-1 formation. 3 at the back means that they're going to have to get a little bit creative with how they play out of the backfield. Defense needs to be careful here. A risky clearance from FC Birmingham. Looks like it will be going back the other way, Sadiq, for Birmingham. The number 8 shirt looks like settling into that right center back position. Had to go to ground to keep that one out of his own net. So far, FC Birmingham are looking at how do they get this ball off the back line. Tiag playing back to keeper. Heavy press here from Dalton, at least 2 members coming forward at all times. And now finally, FC Birmingham, they very nicely played ball up the center. Going to try to play one here over the top on the right wing. Number 11 not quite able to get on the end of it, but FC Birmingham starting to work that ball up a little bit more, and I mean, a minute 33 in, already seeing quite a bit of action here. All right, this is going to be the long throw. It's truly a UPSL classic, the long throw from the edge of the area all the way into the center of the box. Who's got the biggest arm on the team? Good backward head. Oh, tries for an over-the-head clearance, or an over-the-head attempt, but can't quite find it just yet. And as we give it a few more seconds for Dalton to build out of the back of their goalkeeper, I want to bring in Lars to give some updates about what's happening around the league in this matchup. I think we got some updates for you from the Atlanta United Academy matchup.
Yeah, Stephen, great to have you with this match. Match just ended, Atlanta City FC versus Atlanta United Academy. The Academy steps away with a 4-0 win over Atlanta City. Great match for Atlanta United Academy.
Yeah, thank you very much, Lars. And as you mentioned, big win here for Atlanta United Academy, who still hold a firm grasp on top spot here in the UPSL Premier Division for Georgia. Look at just how many members of FC Birmingham are trying to fall back behind this ball. They're doing whatever they can to stop the Dalton attack, and are really just not able to move the ball up the pitch at this point. So this is still early days, and Dalton being a new opponent for FC Birmingham, first time, of course, in the Premier Division. May take Birmingham and Coach Goldfar a few minutes to warm up to their opposition here today, but hey, as long as they keep a nice goose egg in the back, I'm sure they're going to be plenty happy to play this one out and start building up, seeing what they can find. Coming out of the back, Dalton trying to move on forward, but there is the power of having 6 midfielders on your roster, ladies and gentlemen. The ability to lock down some of the midfield here for FC Birmingham. Sometimes, especially in a 3-4-2-1 situation, you can be a little bit vulnerable in those channels because you're not really sure whether the wingback's going to pick somebody up or the midfielder. But 3-4-2-1 is a phenomenal formation for just choking out your opponent's midfield. And Dalton so far are having a tough time trying to play through the middle of this one. I do want to actually issue a bit of a correction. Thank you to Lars. But FC Birmingham, as an organization, have actually had experience with Dalton. That's a shot from all the way at the edge of the area. Woo. You can see the goalkeeper. A little bit of panic in his eyes. I certainly wasn't expecting that shot coming. I wouldn't be shocked if that one caught the keeper out as well. And FC Birmingham, they're starting to build up the pressure in this zone. Playing around, the wingbacks are up. Happy to cycle this around, even the wide defenders happy to make some movement. Goalkeeper sitting around the 5-10 yards outside its goalkeeping area. That's a very confident sweeper, to say the least. But yeah, as I was saying, FC Birmingham's top team, I believe, have not yet played Dalton. However, in Division 1 last season, they did, in fact, meet the U23s. So, as an organization, they may have a few ideas of how Dalton like to line up, how they like to play, how they like to operate, but we'll have to see how that continues. Good defending out here from FC Birmingham. Doing their best to, especially just through the midfield, they're trying to just swarm out this side of Dalton and prevent them from doing anything but playing directly over the top. But it seems like they're going to be very happy to do so. Oh, great defensive effort there from FC Birmingham. That and a little bit of a kick at the end. That's a great defensive effort there coming out from the FC Birmingham defense. If you notice, if you panned a little bit further to the right off the end of that run, there was a second Dalton member there to find the 1-2 pass into the back, and that's a great defensive clearance coming out here. And Dalton United going to get an opportunity here off the corner. Ooh, cheeky little scorpion attempt. Great high header. Just tries to loop it over the keeper, but keeper very disciplined, very on his line, and Uzaru's certainly going to maintain that clean sheet record that he's had since match week number 1. No match for FC Birmingham in match week number 2. They did have a bye in that round, so that's why they only have the 1 match played versus everyone else where they have 2, such as Dalton United. So opportunity to still keep the perfect season up and alive here for FC Birmingham. Very lazy ball lofted, and in fact, it looks like it went off. A left-sided center back for FC Birmingham. Yep, goes out behind, so goal kick once again, and Dalton are starting to apply the pressure. Deep runs coming in here, number 2, number 17, and number 9 hanging around at the top of the box area. Low-driven shot, but can't quite find anyone. It's going to be going out for a Dalton United throw-in. And unfortunately, this one might be a little bit too long for any of our usual UPSL tactics. I mean, I've seen some guys here with pretty strong arms, but this would certainly be a bit of a stretch. Get a little bit of leeway on exactly where the area is. Good defensive effort, and look at just the density of yellow shirts here for FC Birmingham on the defense. Really just trying to sit back on this one. Nice thing with that 3-4-2-1 is very easy to convert basically into like a 5 at the back low block to make sure your opponents really can't play through you. See Birmingham moving now into their opposition surge, trying to smother Dalton a little bit. And FC Birmingham, even though they do have the perfect record so far over their 1 match played here in the UPSL Premier Division, the top team actually just played the Guatemalan U20 team on Tuesday over in Huntsville. Ended up losing 1-2 on a late goal, so Certainly their UPSL pursuits still very much in good standings, but they may be looking to get something back for some non-league play. A team like FC Birmingham, who typically do hang right around the top of UPSL, especially looking at last season's results as an indication. Of course, finishing last season in the playoff positions. They're going to be looking to maintain that record, continue pushing for the top, especially with members like LGSA having a very off season thus far. We mentioned, of course, a little earlier on that they did draw with Dalton United's team here in the black and red kits going from right to left on your screen. And they currently find themselves, after 2 matches played, with 1 point sitting about 2 spots, actually 1 point above the relegation zone. So, very interesting topsy-turvy season thus far in FC Birmingham. Hey, sometimes they do say that chaos is a ladder. And FC Birmingham definitely come out on top. Corner kick played in. It's to the back post. Great job from the keeper. Pull that up at the far post. Certainly not afraid to take his space. Speaking of which, FC Birmingham, who just missed out in the playoffs in the first season here in the spring, made it into the playoffs in the fall, so it is that upward trajectory we were talking about. Did lose out to Benedetto in the first round of that fall season, so like we said, it's all about building. And FC Birmingham, this is certainly one of those teams where you're starting to see, you know, something being built here outside of just the match results. And it's certainly, I think, we've heard quite a bit from Andrew Goldfarb, who's really been an inspiration to a lot of these players. We'll have to see how well that goes tonight. That's a dangerous backwards pass from Dalton United. Nearly playing it directly into the feet of FC Birmingham. And that is number 9. Ooh, cheeky ball played in behind. Oh, trying to find either the back post or his attacking partner coming into the right there. That is a beautiful ball and an absolutely phenomenally placed. Nearly playing it directly into the feet of FC Dalton United. Number 4 catches the ball right here, and it's a beautiful outside to inside run. Cheeky ball played in behind. Oh, trying to find good job from goalkeeper. Number 1 is Ario to block that one out. That could have been the opener that Dalton has been looking for thus far. Certainly would have been an interesting way to open up this game. I think coming in, FC Birmingham, just given their track record as a team, as well as what we know about them, for me, have to be coming into this game the favorites to not only get a point out of this, but as the home team, take those 3 points and really continue their march to the top of the table here. Certainly, they've got some very, very big opposition further up the table in the likes of Atlanta United Academy, but you know, you've got to really prove your stuff versus these teams like Dalton, and no better place to do it than your own home. Fancy dribbling coming out here now on the left wing. Cross, oh, just too high. Not quite played on goal, and like a little bit too high to at that back post. Of course, the home side of FC Birmingham are attempting to prevent some of the chaos of their previous campaign. Of course, in that fall season here in the UPSL Premier Division, the first 2 matches were really up and down. It was really all over the board, leading to a change in the management staff, pulling Goldfarb out of retirement and getting this team back firing on all cylinders. There's no reason to suspect that they've not learned, they've not built off of their previous struggles to take command of this season. But of course, looking to take that control and actually be able to lead here. Really nice one-touch passing coming forward from Dalton. Driven in, it's not quite going to find the back of the net. Great way to work that ball into an aggressive far right position for Dalton United, but especially when they've really moved and they are sitting in their opponent's final thirds, have yet to find. Oh, that's a very poor clearance. That's chested down to number 11 of FC Birmingham, will be very happy to lay this one off to the team. FC Birmingham trying to build something out. I will note that, especially this early on, it does feel like Dalton, as the visiting team, have had a lion's share of those dangerous opportunities. FC Birmingham had that one shot from the wide left area outside the box, over the top, just a looping ball. Would be good for 3 American football points, but not quite going to find its way as eventually FC Birmingham still really looking for how they get on the board here. Ball played over the top, and that's beautifully played right into the feet of Dalton attackers. Just trying to get it off his feet now. Some supporting members coming in. Number 5 run in through. Less beautiful here on that right side. Played into the wing. Played on back. Number 5 here. Oh, that's such a lazy ball, but he's able to take control of it. Played up top once again. I think he's just offside. Yep. Referee's going to agree and put that flag up. Birmingham are finding a lot of really, really nice long-range passes that have been breaking up the attack out of FC Birmingham. Now, I do think some of them have been falling directly into the channels, and that's what we mentioned before with the 3-4-2 that Birmingham are currently playing. Especially with 2 central midfielders and 2 wingbacks, it can be tricky to try to defend those channels right outside the box. And I think so far that's where Dalton really have been able to pick apart FC Birmingham. But of course, what matters at the end of the day is the scoreline. And as we are about halfway into the 16th minute of play here in Leeds, Alabama, FC Birmingham and Dalton United level at 0-0. Well, speaking of some attacking firepower for FC Birmingham, and this is really the power of a team that does have a very solid coaching staff behind them, is that they do have a lot of firepower here on the bench. Speaking of the bench, Lupe Villanueva on the bench for FCB was, of course, the Fall Golden Boot winner for the UPSL Georgia Fall Division. So certainly a lot of changes that can be coming out here. Both teams going with some initial jabs, trying to feel out their opponents. Big switch to play here from Dalton. That just is a large defender, number 23. He's just a presence, to say the least. FC Birmingham looks like they've gotten a few too many people behind the ball and can't really spring forward with that aggressive attack like they're wanting. Tracking this ball all the way out on the near side. And we begin again. Poor pass. Right, directly back over FC Birmingham. They're on the break. 1 man out wide, 1 man coming on that left wing, and 1 straight through the center. 11 turns on to the left foot. Ball played through. Don't think that was an intentional through ball, but it will be one nonetheless. Now Dalton, they are on the counter. Play to that far right wing. It's been their absolute favorite opportunity. But look at this back. They've got 4 members behind the ball here for FC Birmingham. 17's going to wind up, not going to be able to find it through. Birmingham able to play it out, and you definitely smell a little bit of blood in the water for both sides. A feeding frenzy will ensue. 4 members forward, 4 members backwards. Step over 11. Oh, that's a lovely through ball, but just not enough strength to stay on the feet for number 11 for FC Birmingham. Just trying to find it now, ladies and gentlemen. This is a good old-fashioned attacking frenzy. Dalton, that's another beautiful 1-2 played out to that left wing. Certainly not their strongest side. They do seem to favor that right side for the attack. And it looks like finally we'll be able to catch our breaths. FC Birmingham not only ball out of play, but will retain possession in their own defensive third. big shout out to the ball kids, making sure that the games continue quite swiftly. Something you may notice here in the UPSL is that we have rather large fields, especially with the tracks. We got a lot of runoff areas, so always huge shout out to the ball kids whenever they do appear. So, huge ups to them. Speaking of things we need more of in the UPSL, talking with Coach Goldfarb after that Guatemala match on Tuesday, he did point out that there was a specific need, well, still needed, for his side of FC Birmingham, and that was one striker. It seems like they really haven't figured out that striking situation. They do have number 9 Anna's up top. On through now for Dalton United, looking once again onto that right side, trying to just drive at this back post, but so far they have phenomenal wing play. Ball played over, that's over the top of the goalkeeper, but great defensive clearance. Goalkeeper was absolutely off his line, was just left in no man's land. Phenomenal rescue attempt and phenomenal rescue efforts from that FC Birmingham back line. And unfortunately, it looks like Dalton United, all their biggest guys, they seem to be in the back on defense. Strikers not quite able to get onto that one, which in right side is a little bit of an issue with a team that likes to play down the wing. So far, they have phenomenal wing play. Ball played over, that's over the top of the goalkeeper, but great defense. Yes, it does open up a lot of opportunities, but you do still need that one extra touch. You need that one extra play to get the ball in the back of the net. So we'll have to see whether Dalton United, as we do enter our 21st minute of play here at Leeds High School for FC Birmingham versus Dalton United, whether Dalton United are going to be able to adapt. Ball played in here from the corner kick, played all the way out to that far side. Ooh, actually looks like it's going to be called in favor for FC Birmingham as the circle of life begins once more. Well, we've been talking a lot about FC Birmingham. Of course, they are our home team. They are a mainstay nowadays in the UPSL Georgia Premier Division. Let's talk a little bit about the visiting side in Dalton. Not only is this a team that was promoted from the lower divisions with a phenomenal streak, they did so in absolute style. In the fall last season, Dalton scored 63 goals in that first division. They allowed 2. So a plus 61 goal differential certainly is probably one of the best cases you can make for promoting to a tier and promoting to a division like the UPSL Georgia Premier Division. So not only do they have some attacking capabilities up front, but hey, they got some great legs in the back that are able to keep the ball out of the net. And those 2 goals were in one game, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if we're going to see the same level of defensive prowess, especially given over the first 2 matches, they have already conceded 3. They have scored 3. So they're currently sitting at a goal differential of 0. But it does show you what this team does like to build on, and it is a rock-solid defense for Dalton United. And we'll have to see what more they have to offer the Premier Division. Well, it's unfortunately not control on that left wing position. Number 4 lets that ball roll over him. Happens to the best of us. In fact, actually, it looks like he's making amends for that. Immediately steals the ball. And now Dalton attack can begin once more. Played to number 11 here on that left wing. Tries to play that in, but I'm starting to understand why Dalton United are favoring that right side. It doesn't look like number 11 there was a left-footed attacker, so trying to get that cross in from the left wing can be very tricky at times. That's why you see a lot of some of the more inverted players on that left wing like to cut inside and maybe use that right foot to drill at goal, but certainly better than not finding any attack at all is Dalton once again have the lion's share of possession here tonight. And continuing with a bit of our classic Dalton United trivia here. Additionally, we mentioned those 63 goals scored in the fall Division I season. Those 63 goals were scored by 19 different goal scorers on the side of Dalton. If you took all of the goal scorers for Dalton, you could make a roster with a pretty solid substitute bench. 8 subs is certainly nothing's confident as Dalton once again regains possession here on that right wing, dribbling through, play to that right side. Oh, I see the flag there. Offsides. Number 4 was in a very nice position, but linesman says thou shalt not pass, or at least thou shalt not pass while the thou is beyond the last defender. Something along those lines that I'm sure Justin is eloquent of a way, as we've stated here. FC Birmingham really struggling with possession, and I think a lot of that does come down to their personnel here in the defensive third. I did call out before that I thought we were playing a bit of a 3-4-2-1 in favor for FC Birmingham. I think I'd actually like to amend that statement a little bit, because it looks like they're really not leaving a lot here. They've got one holding midfielder for Birmingham who's trying to slot in right in front of the back three, but he's really their only short-range passing option. Everything else needs to go up over the top, and a good defensive team like Dalton thus far has been able to cut out a majority of those chances. And speaking of which, FC Birmingham, talking about midfield, Tyreek Davis has really been a stand-up performer for the yellow squad out here down in Leeds, Alabama. Definitely going to be needing to see more of him tonight and some of the other members of this midfield for FC Birmingham. They want to move this ball up the pitch, because right now it is that back line separating from that midfield that's preventing them from finding any opportunity that isn't this long ball. And sometimes long ball works, but it's not consistent. Now worked onto the right side here. Captain number 26 feeding it back to number 11. Left-footed cross in, and that's just not on target. That's number 15, by the way, Tyreek Davis. If you want to do a little bit of bird watching here for FC Birmingham, that's one of the rarest species you're going to find. And absolutely, basically, he's got a train engine in him. Phenomenally hard-working midfielder. Big stand-up on the team during that fall season. We'll see whether or not the FC Birmingham squad, especially in the leadership of Coach Goldfarb, are going to be able to bring him into the fold. True box-to-box midfielder. Throw on over the top. Important thing to note, throw-ins, there is no offsides. It's not possibly offsides on a throw-in, so Dalton United able to take advantage of that. I think that's actually our first foul of the night. Dalton get a free kick. Going to be taking it very quickly down this right flank. Cleared out by FC Birmingham. And just look at the absolute great wall of Birmingham they have in yellow. Keeper's not going to have to run too far out from there. Bowling this one out of the back. FC Birmingham, they are so defensively minded, but what I will notice is Dalton, they're trying to play on the counterattack. They don't have a sustained attack where they're bringing 6, 7, 8 guys forward that Birmingham can then try to counterattack on. Dalton, yes, they're finding chances, but they're not committing everything for those chances. So when FC Birmingham have been regaining possession of the ball, they're hoping that there's room to play behind Dalton, but thus far it really isn't there because, like we said, Dalton aren't playing this long tiki-taka-esque sustained attack style. Ball played down through the middle. Chested over. FC Birmingham going to recycle. And look, there's just no options here in the back, and Dalton, they may be on a break. Footweight is down this right wing. One out by that left-sided center back. Not only getting to the ball first, but able to maintain possession. There is number 15, so there's your first, bird spotting sight. Tyreek Davis in the backfield. I think he's starting to really find that he needs to drop further and further to help start this possession. Not really sure what happened there, number 9. Bananas up top. Is their number 9 listed here for tonight? In fact, they're only attacking forward listed on the roster. Of course, our rosters, we get defenders, we get midfielders, and we get forwards. And there's one forward in this squad for Birmingham. Fortunately, that's going to go a little bit wide, and it seems like the chase for the FC Birmingham new starting 9 is still very much afoot. So we'll have to see whether or not he can find performance tonight to help lock down that position, or whether there are more options in waiting. UPSL, it is a league of change. You adapt or die here in this league, and that's true for all these teams. It's true for the players. And if you're not constantly changing and improving, you're going to find yourself on the back foot of Birmingham, and our team that have loved to find the modification, to find the change. Now down here on the right wing, number 11 going to be trying to cut in. Goes for the cross once more and just isn't quite on target. 21 trying to play their way in. Headed back to top of the box. Poor clearance. Better second clearance for that Dalton back line. They take control once again. Number 11. That looks like a bit of a foul. We'll be getting the quick play down here to that left wing. Up to the center. Number 8 trying to put on the afterburners. Yet. Oh, goalkeeper. Hits him with a little bit of a pullback move. Striker gives up almost immediately. Good header control from Dalton as they keep this in FC Birmingham's defensive third. Good toss down this right side. Birmingham starting to sit a little bit deeper. They're trying to find a bit more of this build-up play, but it is this cavity that's being formed in that defensive midfield. And that ball over the top, that could be a very dangerous effort. 12 is in on goal. Doesn't get a palm away, and that is FC Birmingham getting on the board. Hey, we talk about soccer. It is a game of moments, and that was a beautiful moment right there. Formed in that defensive midfield. That ball over the top, that could be a very dangerous effort. 12 is in on goal, and doesn't get a palm away, and that is FC Birmingham getting on the. Gets a fingertip to it, and isn't enough to keep it out of the back of his goal. FC Birmingham. I don't think they're the team that's had the lion's share of the possession and the opportunity tonight, but it's a game of moments, and FC Birmingham just found their moment to take the lead. Bloodfield here up against Dalton. All right. And with that, I mean, the challenge has been laid. Dalton United. Like I said, I felt like they've been the better team thus far this half, but scoreline certainly not shown it at the moment. How are they going to be able to respond? 15 minutes before halftime, and they're going to be hungry to find something. Ooh, very rough challenge. It looks like there was a foul before that late attempt at a clearance there, and looks like it will be going the way of Dalton United. Dalton long range chipping the keeper. That's not going to work. Guess he was feeling a bit there. Before halftime, once more from they're going to be hungry to find something. Get that ball. There's Davis, like we were mentioning before. Very tries to fight off the midfielders for Dalton United off that ball. Unfortunately, not going to be coming out of that one. Honestly, that might have been a bit of a fair play-off moment from Dalton United. Uncertain, but certainly not exactly the greatest XG. I'm going to go with about it. XG on that attempt. Certainly not impossible, but suboptimal, I'd say, and in exact shot selection. Playing down this left wing, Dalton United. They're off to the races once again. That's a lot of shoving. Ooh, number 8. I think he's just on the line, Sadiq, of what he can get away with the hands against the attacking members of Dalton on that left wing. Sadiq taken down. I think the frustration is starting to build a little bit from the side of Dalton United. Our referee is going to give him a quick talking to as we're going to get a second what he can get away with that. Like I said, Drew Davis is currently out of WrestleMania, but some of these players may think that they're as well. On that left wing. Aggressive clearance, it just goes too late. Sadiq, number 8 for FC Birmingham, that right-sided center back, plays the ball out and don't slam on the brakes soon enough. So I expect a warning to be addressed. Nothing beyond that, but I mean, there's still a lot of game left to play here, ladies and gentlemen. 33 minutes taking over just about now. 34th minute we are currently in. Good play down this left side for FC Birmingham, but they're not finding these opportunities. FC Birmingham, good steal away. Trying to play with back to goal, now driving down this right side. Another captain's contribution potentially coming in. Beautiful ball played down the right flank. 3 members back here. Number 11 going to be trying to cut inside. Really just not able to gain control of that. That is, he just ran into defender right there. So, not going to be winning any appeal off of that attempt, unfortunately. Derek Davis muscling his way onto the ball. Not going to find it. Ooh, phenomenal captain's contribution. Oh, and a even better clearance, number 18 of the Dalton defense. In fact, that may have just sparked a counterattack. Playing down this right wing once again, number 19 in the middle. He's open. Can we get the ball out from the feet? No, we can't. That is a beefy challenge on the right wing. Clearance coming out from the FC Birmingham defensive line. Dalton with a quick toss in. Launching this ball into the box. Good header. Just really to put off any of the Dalton attackers trying to get on the back of that one. Still played into a dangerous position, as now with 10 minutes left to go in this first half, FC Birmingham having to defend yet another corner kick. Winding up here from this near side. Launching it once again low and driven into the box. Number 5 comes down, hits off the head of a defender. Trying to clear it out to that far left flank. 22 will be shepherding this one out of bounds, but that means it's going to be a Dalton throw-in in a perfect long ball position. Giving himself a little bit of the run-up on the track. All it takes is one. FC Birmingham, they have had their moment. Can Dalton find their moment before the half? Big toss in, number 1. He saw that all the way. Zaro very comfortably going to be able to take possession of that. It does seem that, especially in the attacking versus defending members, Birmingham are a little bit, do have a bit of a height advantage. Means that a lot of those high balls lofted through, they're really not going to find their mark more often than not. That's also why on those corner kicks, you don't see high lofted crosses coming in for Dalton from the sides to the central. They're low and they're driven, trying to find the feet of some of their attackers. And maybe even with a bit of luck, ping-ponging in. Number 12 on the ball, finds a great turn, but can't keep possession. Birmingham trying to recycle as Dalton are in furious counter-pressing down this left wing. High ball lofted across, and once again, caliber crossing really hasn't been there for Birmingham. Looks like Dalton will be the beneficiaries of an offsides call for FC Birmingham. Either that or goal kick. Either way, it's going to be a free kick out of the Dalton United goalkeeper. Playing down that right side now through the middle. A lot of Birmingham bodies on this defensively left-sided flank. Dalton with their defensive right flank trying to just push through. And to be fair, they have found some absolutely beautiful 1-2 passing, one-touch passing to break open the Birmingham defense, but unfortunately just hasn't quite been enough to put the ball in the net. Big ball over the top, and that's going to be into quite a bit of space here. The right wing, 3v2, going to take the shot. Just enough to keep it out of net. Another phenomenal save from FC Birmingham. Number 1 here in the match. Zara is having a very good night thus far, and quite frankly, it's probably the main reason that the scoreline, that as well as some fantastic contributions coming out from the FC Birmingham defense, is the reason why they still got a goose egg in their defensive third. Good header, and that's going to be exactly what Dalton United need. Just as I say, almost a commentator's curse. just as I say that Dalton haven't found anything in the air, they find their biggest man in the back. Beautiful header, straight to the ground. Not a chance to keep that one. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason why they still got a goose egg. An outswinger in their right here. Good header, and that's going to be exactly when that ball bounces just in front of you as the goalkeeper. It is nigh impossible to keep it out of the back of the net. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we are level at a 1-1 scoreline with just four. If I can do some math here, about 6-7 minutes remaining in the first half, plus stoppage time. Oh, Dalton may have found a turnover. Interesting defensive technique out of Birmingham, able to keep that ball even while on the ground. Test contribution, but now here's the quick turnover. Birmingham, 5 members up here, make that 6 with the left wing overlap. Great play down there, beautiful back heel. Now he's got a member right here in the center. Can he find him? Oh, just kidding! That's a beautiful goal from Dalton United. Take a bow. Because that was a beautifully well-worked goal. Starts here play down there. On the left beautiful wing. Back heel. Now he's got a member right here in the center. Can he find him? Oh, just kidding! That's a beautiful goal. That jumped from really high, but taken sweet as a nut right there, just to the left of the goalkeeper. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, this game has flipped, has turned on a dime. Dalton United go from being down 1-0 to absolutely putting their mark on this game. And if FC Birmingham aren't careful, there might be more where that comes from. There is still 5 more minutes of regulation here to play before stoppage time. And just look at the way the Dalton guys are moving. Dalton United FC, they are hungry now. They were pissed that they didn't get that first goal. They were upset that Birmingham, basically against the run of play, goes up on the board first. And if they keep making goals like that, ladies and gentlemen, obviously I don't think they're going to have a 62 goal differential this season, but they may be a very dangerous force to be reckoned with throughout this UPSL Georgia Spring Premier Division season. Big ball over the top once again. Should be a throw-in for Dalton. Big ball over the top. Goalkeeper. I got a little bit caught out by the soccer lines versus the American football lines. Thought he was way out of the box. He is just on the edge of it. Good mobility from the FC Birmingham goalkeeper. Honestly, I don't think he could really be blamed for too many of those shots. Those were phenomenally worked goals. And FC Birmingham just giving away a little bit too much XG in their defensive third here tonight. Dalton playing that through. Recovered, top of the box, taken away. That was a very soft challenge. They're going to be in Dalton's favor. 17 trying to find his way through. Decides to play back across 11 now. Out to the outside, down the right wing. Big ball and big miss. Little outside the area. Striker leans a little bit too far back. But still. Just able to find that. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as we about to enter the 43rd minute of play here at Leeds High School, home turf for FC Birmingham versus Dalton United. This is a scoreline that they wanted to avoid. I remember we were mentioning that FC Birmingham's top team just played the Guatemalan U20 team on Tuesday in Huntsville, and this is what they lost by. It was 1-2. And given how this game is going, unless there's some major changes at halftime, I don't think Birmingham are getting out of here with just 2 goals conceded. Now the question is, can they find some goals back themselves? Can they find that attacking production? But so far, really haven't found it yet. Dalton happy to work this one into the midfield. Number 4 here on the left wing tries to play it through. That's phenomenal. He's got support here just inside. Not able to get the ball out of his feet quick enough. But now here it is, 11. Forcing the diving save. After the man between the sticks. Zaru. As much as, all the players want to get their names on the broadcast as much as humanly possible, I feel like as a goalkeeper, sometimes you're okay with not being as in the spotlight as Zara is here tonight. Certainly great work from thus far, and great ball down this right flank. Dalton not quite able to get that ball in time. Look at your captain, number 26 here for FC Birmingham, with that red armband. He's trying to fire up his members. He knows that FC Birmingham really have been lacking in this midfield and in defense here tonight, and trying to make the captain's contribution, get his team working in the right gear. Dalton recovering down that far side. In fact, actually goes to the attack here for FC Birmingham, played back to the goalkeeper. Really hasn't had that difficult of a job here tonight. Has honestly played with his feet more than he has with the hands. And Birmingham are just so defensive right now that there is no press. They're not able to take the ball off the feet of these defenders. And that is inviting pressure back. But as I say that, Tyree Davis, great seal away. Dalton goes to ground. Great sliding tackle. A little bit of confusion, it seems, as a very slow build-up here. We're just about to hit the 45th minute, which means only stoppage time here to play. Typically, the norm in UPSL is we have about a minute of stoppage time, if even that. Realistically, it's been a pretty clean game. No cards shown thus far. I think only about 2 or 3 fouls. Nothing particularly devastating. I think Dalton are engaging in a little bit of time wasting here, but comes with the territory sometimes. So I think that both sides are just gonna be happy to make it back to the locker rooms after a very eventful first half. Dalton, all they got to do is maintain possession. Bit of a risky pass there. 12 trying. Oh, that is a terrible pass, but number 12 on FC Birmingham's attack is isolated and alone. Big ball over the top. And play back to the goalkeeper. Big boot up the pitch. Interesting scorpion kick to keep the ball in Dalton's possession. Maybe one more attack is on the cards before we go to the locker rooms. Play to this left side. Not a lot of members in the midfield, but it's not where Dalton like to play. They're pressing down this left flank. Number 4 looks to be wearing the captain's armband, trying to make a contribution here before halftime. And realistically, I think that whistle's going to blow any minute now. In fact, any second. Throw in for FC Birmingham right at midfielder. Rather, that's going to go the way of Dalton. And it's number 4. Playing all the way back to defense. That's played along the ground. That's a dangerous ball out from the goalkeeper. Now one more drive here straight through the center, number 26. Trying to do it all on his own, but just goes to ground. And you can just see the frustration on the captain. He is not happy with how his team's playing. He's not happy with how he's playing. Tyree Davis able to regain possession here in the midfield. FC Birmingham. I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure how much more time we're going to have. 17, he's through on goal. He's one-on-one, could be looking to slide it away, and that it is it! That's a third on the board. FC Birmingham, they weren't satisfied with 1. They were not satisfied with 2. And hey, I don't think they're going to be satisfied with 3, but that's a phenomenal goal to go up before halftime. FC Birmingham. To be honest, I'm not sure how much more time we're going to have. 17, he's through on goal. He's one-on-one, could be looking to slide it away, and that it is it! That's a third on the board. And look at the heads on the members of FC Birmingham. They knew that they were seconds away from halftime. Honestly, I would be shocked if there is not a whistle directly off this kickoff, bringing us to halftime. Still playing, okay. Well, a very eventful first half thus far. FC Birmingham got a lot of work to do. We were talking before, FC Birmingham so far with only 1 match played this season. It was a pretty convincing win over North Georgia, though, with them third in the table. And so far, this Dalton United team have really had their number. Wow, we are still playing. We are 3 minutes into stoppage time, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what happened to keep us in this stoppage time for 3 more minutes. But this has got to be ending anytime soon. FC Birmingham may be lining up for one more long dropping ball into the box here before the half. Finds the first header, played out wide. 11 playing it back through, cleared off the line. And there it is. FC Birmingham trailing here at home at Leeds High School. Dalton United with a strong 3-1 lead here going into the halftime of match week 3. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We will be right back with the continuation of match week 3 here of the UPSL Georgia Premier Division. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the spring season of the UPSL Georgia Premier Division. My name's still Steven Johnson. I am still your commentators for tonight's proceedings of FC Birmingham versus Dalton United right over there in Leeds, Alabama at Leeds High School. And it's been a phenomenal night thus far for Dalton United. And FC Birmingham are learning in a very rude awakening way that Dalton aren't just good in the first division. They seem to be good as well in the Premier Division, as Dalton have they haven't controlled the ball, they have owned the ball thus far in this half. FC Birmingham certainly having a very tricky time building out of the back and progressing the ball through the midfield up to the top. So far, the one goal FC Birmingham have had was a phenomenal through ball from their captain straight into the feet of Collins, number 12, who was able to slot it away. Besides that, Dalton United, they've looked like the more dominant team here tonight. They've been able to win that ball in the midfield and use those midfield turnovers along with some very cheeky, very sublime passing coming through to go ahead and find their goals up against FC Birmingham. And Dalton United, they are looking phenomenal thus far. But before we get back to tonight's proceedings, we're going to throw it to the greatest stream engineer in all of the UPSL. Lars, why don't you give us a quick update on what's happening around the league?
Well, thank you for all that, Stephen. When we look around the league, we have one game that is matched. Atlanta City FC fall to Atlanta United Academy 4-0. Currently, right now, Club the Strongest Los Tigres are playing Legends FC. LGSA and Kalonji Pro Profile are also playing. Tomorrow, you will have at 3 o'clock Atlanta Rovers FC versus North Georgia United.
Thank you, Lars. And that match is going to be a phenomenal matchup as we see whether or not Atlanta Rovers FC can continue a very strong season off the back of their cup victory just a few short weeks ago. And that, of course, will be happening down at Tara Stadium if you can make it. If not, you can join us right here on YouTube for those proceedings. Interesting matches happening across the league. LGSA and Kalonji are two teams that are typically pretty high up in the rankings whenever we see them around the UPSL Premier Division. LGSA, of course, finishing second in the table and actually going on to win last season's playoffs in the UPSL Premier Division for the fall season. This season getting off to a pretty rocky start. So far, over 2 matches played, they have 1 draw and 1 loss. So a win over Kalonji Pro Profile would certainly lift their spirits, but same thing for Kalonji. 1 match played, 1 draw. So we'll update you guys as soon as we learn the results of that. If we don't find out tonight, we'll be sure to let you guys know on the broadcast tomorrow, or even better yet, go over to nonprosoccer.com where you can follow and keep up to date with all the happenings of the UPSL Premier Division, as well as many others around the country. Your absolute go-to source for all things soccer in non-pro America. But with all those plugs out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to kick off for the second half. FC Birmingham are currently trailing Dalton United 1-3. They're going to be looking for some big changes here going into the second half. I believe personnel-wise, looks like they're coming out in about the same formation. Curious to see what changes and what charges head coach Goldfarb has been able to address over the halftime. Certainly, they're having a rough time moving the ball up. But there's the whistle, ladies and gentlemen. We are underway. It is FC Birmingham hosting Dalton United, currently trailing 1-3. Big ball played up at left wing. Going to run out of room. FC Birmingham in the all yellows, going from right to left across your screen. Dalton United, the visiting team, who are some fairly hot shots coming out of the first division last season. They are in the black and red kits, going from left to right across your screen. Speaking of left to right, that's the way the ball's going. Header back to the goalkeeper. That was a header back to the keep, so we'll be fine about back pass rules. Played down the wing, not quite finding it. FC Birmingham, what I want to see more of this half is a little bit more fluidity with how they move around the ball. So far what's been happening in the first half is when they've gotten stuck into the fence, they've just had a 5-man block at the back and haven't really been able to get the ball up the pitch. but when they do get possession, they almost abandon. There's the three in the back, one midfielder dropping back, and haven't been able to share the ball outside of that. So far, it looks like they have been doing a bit of a better job of connecting that defensive and midfield lines, or even that defensive midfield line and the true midfield line. That's a great ball into the top. Oh, number 26 almost gets on the end of it, coming from a very deep midfield position to pick that one up. Sprinting down that left flank. They're certainly starting to come back onto the board here. Little by little. Ball played onto that right wing. Burnet's head not quite able to pick that one up just yet. Of course, when we are referring to number 26, we are referring to Ryan App, the captain for FC Birmingham, and so far has been trying to make the captain's contribution. I believe he is credited with that assist, and honestly has been having a large share of very important passes thus far. Just hasn't really been getting the assistance he needs from the rest of the squad. Dribbling down that left flank, trying to work it in across. Shot taken, goes wide. And speaking of Hep, we got two of them. Both Ryan and Eric Hep are both farm originals when he was on FCB before he retired. And since coming back, they really have been instrumental in the rebuild of this FC Birmingham side. Of course, what did pull them into the solid playoff places last season. We'll have to continue. Eric, of course, playing a little bit of a super sub thus far for Coach Goldfarb. We'll have to see whether or not he's going to be able to do something super in this match, because that's really what's going to take number 19. Oh, he just has so much room there in that number 10 position, basically, on the ball. Just plays not the cleanest through ball, but now cross into the middle, takes it off the volley, goes wide. Dalton, they are continuing exactly where they left off. They know that, FC Birmingham are inside, especially with some substitutes coming in. They can find a way to put one or two more back on the board. So, hey, we got to find some more themselves. And I made the prediction at the end of the first half that I don't think FC Birmingham are walking out with just 3 goals conceded. With the way Dalton are playing, I think there's going to be at least 4 or 5. So if Birmingham want any chance of pulling some points back, they got to get on the board. Kind of dribbling through the midfield. Dalton United. Oh, that is a strong challenge, to say the least. It's not often that you see the dribbler's feet going over the head. That's going to be a free kick. An interesting position. I think it's want any chance for a back. They got to get on target. You would see the replay of that as he just gets out of midfield. Dalton United. Oh, that is a. There he goes. Tossed like a salad right there. All right, 3 members lining up over the top of this ball. Maybe this is just the edge of the range of putting something on target. Strikes. Puts it in the bottom corner, and he's able to find the goal off the free kick opportunity. What a shot here for Dalton United, and they will continue to keep their account open. Goal after edge of the range of putting something on target. It's hard to stop him. Lines up, goes to the right foot, breaks, drops his puts it in the bottom corner, and he's able to find the goal on that right side. Goalkeeper, I don't know if he's fully expecting a shot on goal from that distance. Phenomenal effort here from Dalton, who realistically across the board. I mean, there are a few performances here for FC Birmingham. I mean, defender, especially number 8 Steve, have been looking great. Some great contributions from other members, but hasn't been enough this far. Pressing down the right wing once again. Dalton looking to keep this one going. Far left, phenomenally placed, but offsides. Dalton will at least be stopped for now. Playing down that right wing. across the face of the goalkeeper, but as an outswinger, not going to find anything. Where all are the ball boys indeed? The shout there from, I believe, FC Birmingham. They are the home team, so typically, as home team, you do have a little bit more sway over the ball boys, and given that they are currently trailing by 3 at home, they are going to need some pretty rapid service on these balls out if they want to have the time to catch back up. Already a few members of FC Birmingham are warming up on the sideline. You see right there at the end line, rather. And really, you got to ask, what are the changes FC Birmingham need to make if they want to come back in this game? And my God, honest answer, I have no clue. Perhaps a little bit more assistance in the midfield. Get some members, maybe especially on the wings, who are willing to drop a little bit further back. Oh, deft little touch there from number 10 here on the flank for Dalton. Just trying to work that around his opposition. Will maintain possession as it does go off an FC Birmingham defender. Throw comes in, down and low. Number 10 being pushed off the ball. Header comes over. Oh, I have a lot of questions here. That is a very interesting call by the referee. And effectively what's being said here is that there was a foul against the goalkeeper. That stopped play. Watch the replay here. Obviously, safety is number 1 priority, but I'm not sure. There's a foul here. 10 goes around the goalkeeper. He's able to get the shot off. I just can't see whether or not that's an excessive follow-through as a goalkeeper. Sometimes you do just have to put yourself in those situations. And as a striker, it is your job to go for those bouncing balls. I don't think there's anything malicious there. But that's a... Here's what I'll say for the referee. I think he is very, very glad that this is not a closer game. Because that final header that was going in on goal was going in on goal. But with a 4-1 scoreline, I would be hard-pressed to see this as the decisive moment of the match. Even with all that, got to go back to square one. Zaru's health and well-being certainly is more important than any individual scoreline, so make sure that the goalkeeper is doing all right is job number 1 here for everyone. Well, we will see what the referee's course of action here is. Number 6 for Dalton United's got a few questions. Personally, I got a few as well, but they may be slightly more invested in the outcome. It certainly would be a very harsh thing to give them any sort of a stronger foul or any sort of PK. And ladies and gentlemen, while we are waiting for play to progress here, I do believe Lars has an update from around the league.
Yeah, sorry about that, Stephen. Yes, one update that we have, the Club the Strongest, Los Tigres, taking on Legend FC. As of right now, Club the Strongest are leading 6-1.
Oh, hate to cut you off, but ball straight here on goal, and that's another goal for Dalton United. Make it number 6 here, I believe. Hey, they heard that the Strongest were leading 6-1, and they said, hey, we can do that too. A phenomenal night. A fantastic, star-studded night here for Dalton United FC, and I'm going to have to say, a night that FC Birmingham are very quickly going to want to forget, as you just saw there, bouncing ball straight to the striker. Very well played over the top. Rather, I believe that is actually looking at our scoreline currently at 6. Yeah, I mean, there you see it right there. Ladies and gentlemen, Lars did not even have time to update the score with how rapidly these shots are coming. It is now 6-1 as Dalton United are running away with this contest. Absolutely phenomenal thus far. That's actually hilarious that it was a 6-1 lead for Club the Strongest, and now it is a 6. It was a hey, hold my beer kind of situation for for Dalton United. Oh, we can be on another one, ladies and gentlemen. Number 6 is streaming toward goal. He's got support coming in, tries to turn to the inside. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's number 7. Dalton United are on a roll, and this train has left the station, and it ain't coming back anytime soon. Dalton United, they are chugging along. And, hey, this is just Sunday League for them at this point. They are out having a blast of a time. And we can see that ball played right to that left side. Number 6 just turns his defender. Great cutback. And then one-on-one with the goalkeeper. I mean, you can do all you can as a keeper, but at that point, there's only so much you can do. And ladies and gentlemen, this is not a contest anymore. And really, it just feels like now, every time Dalton United are on the board, they are very much at risk of just immediately streaming towards that goal. And what an inaugural win for Dalton United here in the UPSL top tier. Of course, they had a phenomenal season last year in the UPSL Division 1. This being their first season in the Premier Division for the region of Georgia. They're currently at a 0-2-0 scoreline. 2 draws thus far. 3 goals allowed, 3 goals scored during that time. This would be their first ever win in that top division. And what an absolute celebration of a way to do so. Phenomenal night thus far from Dalton United. Ladies and gentlemen, we are still 58 minutes into this match. There's still quite a bit left to go here. And, I mean, at what point do you start making changes for FC Birmingham? And, I mean, how do you start addressing this game? Because I've seen some crazy things in my day. But a 3-goal comeback with 30 minutes left on the board, or a 6-goal comeback with 30 minutes left on the board, that may just be a bridge too far for the Birds from Alabama. Coach Goldfarb is going to certainly have a lot on his plate after this game. Number 19, that was a silly foul. I would be shocked if there's not a yellow card. Yep, he's called him over. Absolutely no need for it. Somebody might be looking sub-in. That's number 10. Looking to queue up there at the edge. I don't think he's been waved on just yet. That would be Lupe Villanueva, number 10. We did mention him a little bit earlier on the broadcast. And that is the fall Golden Boot winner who started this game on the sideline. Certainly a lot of experimentation going on for FC Birmingham. But this certainly ain't it. I mean, just look at this backfield. Like, they look at the distance between the defenders for FC Birmingham and anyone that they're playing it to. That was silly. Hep is not. You know what? That is a question I would love to know. Unseen person in the crowd. I would like to know what is going on as well. And it just looks like a bit of a confidence shock. FC Birmingham, I mean, they haven't been as clean. If there's one thing I will say about Dalton, they look really good here tonight. Technically, but there hasn't been a lot of tactics. Like, it's not like Dalton United rolled up with a crazy strategy that no one did beat. They just have really good short distance passing, the quick 1-2s, the quick 1-touches, and the deft little back heels that have opened up so many of these goals. And it's that last bit of confidence on the ball that I think FC Birmingham really are lacking tonight. I think that, along with how hard it is for them to play the ball around the back. I mean, I'd love to know the amount of turnovers FC Birmingham have had in their defensive third here tonight, because it's been a lot. It's been a lot more than any supporter of FC Birmingham would like to see. Now, streaming forward, Dalton. We're getting multiple members here behind the ball. 6 now on that right wing. Looking to cut inside here, potentially laying it off for number 10 down the wing. He's around the defender, looking to place one across, just too high over, bouncing ball off the defender. And finally getting his hands to another ball. Dara in the back, almost turned over once again, and almost immediately FC Birmingham are very liable to potentially turn over the ball. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I did mention it was 7-1. It is actually 6-1 currently. FC Birmingham streaming forward, trying to find something. I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm trying to keep track of the goals myself, ladies and gentlemen. 6-1, of course, being the scoreline for Dalton United. Now, there's a man who's not had to do anything tonight. Goalkeeper for Dalton United, that is Ferrere. Samuel, number 1. Certainly is very happy to have a quiet night back there. Would have liked a little bit more if he was able to get a clean sheet tonight, but I think that's a fine concession for how many they've been able to find at the other end. We're now streaming in towards the goal. Dalton not able to find that opportunity. Now turning it right back around. Playing down that right wing, absolutely swarmed by black and red kits around. And as we do have we hope to be, at least for FC Birmingham, take a little bit of a reprieve, we're going to throw it to Lars for, sounds like another update for the KSA and LGSA game.
Yeah, thank you, Stephen. Just got update from the KSA versus LGSA match. 1-0 victory for KSA. Patrick Okonkwo with the goal.
Thank you very much. And that means that Kalanji are going to be picking up their first win of the season. They'll bring them to a 1-1-0 record. Whereas on the other side, LGSA have taken now the second loss of their campaign, bringing them to an 0-1-2 scoreline. Because they have 1 point from 3 matches. Certainly not the start that our reigning champions were hoping for. So we'll have to see whether they can get back on track or not. Dalton United looks like they're going to give some members some very well-earned rest here. Fighting for the ball, and it is just, there's a bit more of a fighting spirit. I mean, Tyreek Davis has looked like he genuinely wants the ball every time he's around it. Has looked like he genuinely wants to find that crucial pass every time he has the ball, but FC Birmingham, outside of those central members, there hasn't quite been the hunger that there has been for Dalton. Perhaps we're getting a little bit narrative here, a little bit, letting the feelings of the game kind of tell the story at this point, because fortunately, there's only so much that tactics can tell you. There's only so much that statistics can tell you, but FC Birmingham, they just hasn't quite been that same one. Maybe a little bit stereotypical of a commentator, but just today, Dalton United just wanted it more. We'll have to see, especially with some substitutes potentially coming up here for FC Birmingham. Definitely a few heads are dropping. And you got to start wondering, what is now the goal of this game? I don't think it's realistic that we're going to see a 5-goal comeback at this point. So what do? Do we give some young guys some time on the ball? Do we try out something new with our formation? Because there's still quite a bit of game work to be played here. And especially with a non-pro league like this, you only get so many opportunities to practice and have game day situations. Very rough tackles. We're going to see a replay on that one. Far down that right wing. 8 plays us over the top, just lays it off. 4 goes to ground. He's got guys all around him. 23 ends up being the one to take the knock there. Yeah, I definitely don't think there's anything malicious about that.
That's you, Eric!
A little bit slow to get up there for 23. He wants to make sure he's doing all right. That is Eric Hepp, who has checked into the game. His brother, the other Hepp on the field, number 26, coming to make sure that his brother not only on the pitch, but at home is doing all right.
Second row law, medical properties trust, and diversity.
Actually, will be a yellow card for number 4 of Dalton United FC. So, and realistically, that's just something you gotta avoid now for Dalton United. This game, I mean, I never want to say a game's over, but this game is as close to over as you probably can get. Don't make any stupid mistakes. Don't get yourself sent off for the next match, because as nice as this one win is, a season takes more than one game. You need to build upon this result. You need to take the lessons you learned here tonight and continue them. And losing some of your starters who are responsible for this win certainly would not be a way to walk away. And ladies and gentlemen, just a little bit of an update. Looking at the table right now with our live results, should all the results tonight hold, including this for Dalton United, Dalton would actually slot in as the number 2 team on our table. With 3 matches played, they'd be at 5 points, 2 behind Atlanta United Academy. Atlanta United Academy, of course, with the 1 draw, bringing them 7 points. So I guess substitution may be brewing here. FC Birmingham currently sitting at 6. But I'd say the big one to watch, Atlanta Rovers, who do only have 1 game played, still have the perfect season on the line. 3 points from 1 game, and of course they will be going up against North Georgia tomorrow on the broadcast. Finn Dowdy coming in now for FC Birmingham. We'll be checking into this matchup. He was kind of alongside Lupe. Was who we were expecting. Big ball in over the top. Nobody able to get on the end of that for FC Birmingham. Not fully cleared out. Dalton able to put a stop to the attack here on the left flank. Looks like he's come on to replace Eric Hepp, who has only just come on. Likely going to be something about that injury picked up. And once again, when we're kind of talking about this FC Birmingham side, who realistically, a 5-goal comeback at this point is a bit far-fetched. It's better to look after any of your players. You know, isolate the damage of this match to this match. What they'll go home tonight, they'll go watch the film, they'll talk about tomorrow in training, and then you just move on. That's how you play a season as a true team. Don't worry about an individual result as long as you learn from it. And FC Birmingham, they're going to be a dangerous team, and heck, if they can figure out what went wrong tonight, they'll be looking even more dangerous going into next match week. But they got to deal with the reality of what they have. Very nice pullback. Skill move from that left-footed center back, left-sided center back. Big ball in over the top. Dalton United not able to maintain possession. FC Birmingham, the recovering possession in their own defensive third here on the left wing. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, even if tonight's record results do hold, FC Birmingham are in that 6th position. And of course, top 6 do qualify for the playoffs here in the UPSL Georgia Premier Division. Ooh. A little bit of an aggressive takedown. Oh, and kicks the ball to him afterwards. Referee might be... He's looking at him. I think he's trying to make that decision in his mind. That will, of course, be the other half down as well. Coach Milford may be looking to protect some of his players at the end of this one. Eric Davis checking in to that defensive midfield. Basically doing it back 4 now, trying to be the additional set of legs that Dalton have needed. Big ball now in the left wing. Here's Tyreek Davis trying to orchestrate the back line himself. 19 played through, 6 potentially in a dangerous position between the lines. Tyreek, just look at him. Look at how he plays around the ball. He wants to find the interception. He wants to find the stop. Now playing on the left side. 19, dangerous spot, top of the box. He's going to take it himself, and that's going to be number 7, ladies and gentlemen. Dalton United FC. They just won't stop. 7-1. And FC Birmingham are having an absolute night here at Leeds High School. This is going to be... Keep in mind, FC Birmingham, of course, being in Alabama, over straight down I-20, right inside Leeds, Alabama. This is a long ride for a team like Oh, very poor clearance over the top. Dalton United.
Pass the
Pretty
ball.
strong opinions coming out from the crowd.
No pass.
Good work from Dalton backfield. As I was saying, this is a long road for a team like Dalton to come all the way out here to Leeds, Alabama. But if there's ever a way you want to take that drive home, a 7-1 scoreline victory is certainly the atmosphere you want for that ride home. Only thing that could ruin it at this point would be some sort of injury or some sort of really silly foul. When you're up 7-1, sometimes it can provoke you to be a little bit more aggressive, that little bit more active, and making a few of those challenges that really you have no right to do. Big ball over the top. Not going to find anyone. A bit of a cheeky play there. Number 6 laying out the ball for number 5. Kind of comes out of nowhere. Ball in over the top once again. Goes for goal. Can't quite find it. It feels like playing a bit of a game of FIFA at this point where everyone's trying to get on the scoreline if they can. Now, how many goals can we get our left-sided center back? How many goals can we get our right-sided center back at this point? Well, now it is on Dalton United to see this game through and to make sure that there are no asterisks at the end of this match. 7-1 scoreline's great, but a 7-1 scoreline where we had someone sent off or somebody got banned now for next match because of a red card. That is the only way you could ruin a night like tonight. So, and honestly, especially up 7-1, your job as a referee, your job as a coach at this point. I've heard some great quotes on what really is a coach's responsibility. And some say it's about 30% tactics, 70% man management. And this is certainly the point where, man management is really going to be the name of the game here. Ball in from the top. Great collection here. Big kick over the top. Might be looking to spur a counterattack for FC Birmingham. Having a tricky time maintaining possession. Good defensive control. Good play down the wing. Just gets them out of a bad situation. Yes, my production team does tell me that Dalton have a phenomenal 3-hour ride home. And certainly it's much easier to make that 3-hour ride when you got 3 points out of a result like tonight. Playing down that left wing. 3 at the back just is not working for Birmingham here tonight, but it is working for Dalton, playing around the top of the box. Fancy footwork. Lets one fly. I think that went in, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, we're going to have to see the replay on that. Hits the top bar. That may have been one of those situations where it hits the top bar, bounces, and goes out, but not too many shouts from the side of Dalton, so they may think quite differently. Now streaming down this left side, FC Birmingham. They're on a break. They're in dangerous position, but just can't find it through. Just tries to poke it through with the left foot. I don't think that last one. Wow. What page was it? Break, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure we'll be able to get a replay to you guys. First thing on this right side, Dalton United will once again be receiving that throw, and here is the replay. This is going to be the initial attempt. So number 6 cuts it to his inside, lets loose. Oh, that's close. That's really close, ladies and gentlemen. But hey, it is what it is. Now here's a substitution you don't often see. Dalton United subbing off their goalkeeper. I mean, I'll be honest, he hasn't really had too much to do tonight. When he has been called upon, he's been rising to the occasion. It will be Isaac Meza, number 99, checking in as Dalton United's goalkeeper for the final about 15 minutes here of regulation. Ball played back into the midfield for Dalton United. And just look at how wide open this field is. Played all the way out to that right flank. Number 10. Trying to work his way around. Ball played back again. Headed off the defender. Recovered. That looked like a handball for FC Birmingham. Referee maybe feeling a little bit of pity for the Birmingham side at this point, but ooh, Tyreek Davis with a spirited challenge, but fortunately to the wrong team. Number 10 driving down this right side, tries to get a shot on goal. Good header from that Birmingham backline. Does at least keep it as a throw-in instead of a corner kick. 6 coming in over here to claim this one. Actually, it's being called as a corner kick. This looks like it just didn't do enough. Looks like we got an outswinger, and as we've seen with Dalton, they like these low driven, but this is going to be a high and lofted straight into the waiting heads of FC Birmingham. Ball played around the ground, but well received by the defense for Dalton United. First touch of the ball for Isaac, who is wearing a full yellow kit, but does have the pink penny to differentiate himself as the goalkeeper. Isaac Meza has at least got his first participation of the night here.
What is going? Okay,
Dalton United. Oh, that is a terrible, terrible mistake. Oh, some sloppy footwork out of the feet of FC Birmingham. And here comes that counterattack. Will they make good on this opportunity? What? What on earth is happening here? That is not how you want to make your entrance here for Isaac Meza. That is a poor effort. Any way you look at it. Starts with a turnover by a poor pass. Gets turned over in the midfield here. FC Birmingham, that is a slow roller. And Isaac Meza doesn't even dive for it. He watches it go in. I mean, all credit to FC Birmingham. That was exactly where you want to place it. That is bottom corner. To the point where goalkeeper didn't even think it was going in. Therefore, he was watching it the whole way through.
Stop whining!
Yeah, and that is, of course, our Golden Boot leader from last season. That is Lupe Villanueva for FC Birmingham. I mean, yeah, it's dangerous number 10 through and through.
that's you. Pass the ball. Pass it.
He's going to be happy to at least get on the board tonight. I don't think that's necessarily going to be in the running for a Puskas Award anytime soon. But hey, at this point, I'll take him however you can get him.
We had the ball.
We're going to see the replay there, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, what a night. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I think the crowd here is just really not feeling it anymore after a 7-2 defeat, but that is a player in Tyreek Davis who deserves a hero send-off of tonight. I mean, unfortunately, he really hasn't been able to be involved in as much of the games as he would like, but he's been trying to be the jack of all trades that fills in wherever they need. He's had an absolutely phenomenal night tonight. Hasn't unfortunately gotten too much on the scoreboard, but
Long ball. That's you. Give it.
played into the side netting.
Okay.
Hey, good job.
FCB fans, don't forget that the FCB reserve team will be taking.
Now, as you see that bright scoreboard in the back and as well as on your screen, we are in the 81st minute, which means we have approximately 9 more minutes of regulation here to play. I don't think there's going to be too much time added on. I did say that at the end of the first half. We did have about 3 minutes, but
That's you.
the referee seems to be playing advantage of FC Birmingham. They are shifting into a bit of another gear, trying to push forward for whatever they can. Still a 5-goal deficit to be made up here. Not a lot of time trying to play here to the left wing. 20 tracking it back. Throw in for FC Birmingham. Interesting throw. Goalkeeper Uzora just barely maintained possession of that one. That would have been a blunder and a half. Speaking of which, Dalton United able to regain possession here in the midfield. I think everyone's kind of mentally checked out of this game at this point because we're seeing some sloppy mistakes from both sides. FC Birmingham working down this left flank. Driving down, ball played in across. Great service, but not quite able to be followed through on. Shout for a handball. Outside the post. Replay that one quite soon. So once again, very spirited supporters here at FC Birmingham over at Leeds High School, just down I-20 over in Leeds, Alabama. Home turf for FC Birmingham as they are having a night to forget. Dalton United goalkeeper launching this one out of the backfield. Low driven ball will be falling into the feet of FC Birmingham.
Come on, 12!
Tussle for control in the midfield. Coach Goffard will be stepping in as the ball boy on that one. He's certainly going to be a man with a lot on his mind here tonight. Stepped in after the first 4 games last season for FC Birmingham in the spring season, as that team was in a bit of a low point. Crazy up and downs. And he came out of retirement to whip his team back into shape this season. Looks like might have another challenge on his hands. Obviously, only one result here to look at. Dalton United certainly seems like a team. With FC Birmingham on the break here. Good ball through the middle. Not quite having the support he needs. Bounced over multiple members. Good overhead clearance and great backhead from Dalton United, trying to regain possession. Assert themselves bad control there. 26. Going to be able to regain possession. He's going to go down, but FC Birmingham, they're going to continue. Great ball down this right channel. Trying to play it in, and that's going to be a save. First save for the goalkeeper stepping on in to the bag. Number 99, Isaac Meza. Trying to make good for a few of his sins here earlier tonight.
That's you, Yellow. Down, pass it.
And put down the field. FC Birmingham definitely are smelling a little bit of blood in the water here. They want to get back on the board here, at least the members who have just checked in. I think there are a lot of guys coming off the bench here tonight who are not thrilled with the efforts of some of their teammates here tonight. And sometimes that old adage, if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. Seems to be the prevailing mentality. On this side, as another yellow card comes out for Dalton United once again. Need to be a little bit careful, just given the nature of the matchup. No reason to be picking up any silly cards at this point. Of course, this is part of the season. You do have to be careful about suspensions and whatnot. 85 minutes played, 5 more minutes left to go before we get to stoppage time. FC Birmingham really looking for some more consolation. And to be fair, there is a little bit more on the line than just pride at this point. Goal differential is a very large part of the tie-breaking here in the UPSL. And sometimes goal differential can be the difference between making playoffs and not. Good ball through here. Dalton dribbling in the midfield, number 10. And once again, he'll be looking to let loose, place it out to the left wing. Not able to turn inside, just lets one rip. Good save from Izaro. Able to keep that one out of his net and keeping us just at a 7-goal game for Dalton United. Finding whatever he can. Keep his team down. And as we're talking about with a goal differential, right now, Atlanta United not only on top of the league, Atlanta United Academy not only on top of the league with 7 points from 3 matches, but they've got a +6 goal differential. Dalton United are catching up to them pretty quick with that goal differential. And as we mentioned, sometimes GD is the main determining factor between who makes playoffs and who does not, or even who could be in a relegation battle and who cannot. So
Come on,
even though 3 points may be lost here, even a 1-point result are certainly lost here for FC Birmingham. Certainly another goal or two could mean a lot further down the season. As we're about to enter the 88th minute of play here at Leeds High School, home turf for FC Birmingham in the UPSL
take the ball.
Spring Premier Division. Dalton, I think it's for him to say, have confidently announced their arrival in the Premier Division. This is, of course, their 3rd match played, 2 draws, but this is everything this is their statement game. Coming into tonight, even I mentioned, I think FC Birmingham had to be favored, just given their history, given their ability to play at this level. Dalton, a lot of questions coming in. Could they maintain that same run of form that they had at the end of their 1st division season? It is hard for some of the teams to make that jump from a lower division up here to the top. And I think the question has gone from can they run with the top dogs to how far can they go? FC Birmingham, they're looking to go the other way, trying to play down the other side. A sloppy clearance from the defense, playing it out to the middle here. Number 10's got the ball, tries to shift it over. Nueve not able to get the shot away. Will be able to maintain possession here for a throw-in. As FC Birmingham
Move up, guys! Move up!
looking to find anything more. A spirited clearance attempt out from the Dalton back line. Not able to keep the ball in. And it will be Dalton United
We still have 2 minutes.
able to clear their lines with a goal kick. And ladies and gentlemen, that scoreboard in front of you, that's going to be pretty accurate with what's remaining in this game. 88 minutes played. About to say 89. Dalton do need to be a little bit careful. I think we mentioned it a few times so far tonight, but you're winning 7-2. You do not need to go for a huge clearance that could potentially result in a card or a penalty. So obviously you want to keep pushing for Dalton, but want to be smart with it. Good clearance. All right, good tackle in the midfield. Number 7 trying to play this ball up, not quite getting the run he needs. FC Birmingham will be trying to recycle this one. If they can get one more goal by the end of regulation, honestly, that given how the second half has been going, would be a huge result.
Pass the ball!
Trying to play down this right wing. Played into the center, not quite able to find the feed. Oh, finds some feed, but it's just too high. Striker a little bit too lean back there. That is number 17 for FC Birmingham. Not able to find too much more. That is Bailey Harris, midfielder number 17 for the FC Birmingham, coming out from the bench here. Another member of the FC Birmingham squad where I think they did get that uptick in intensity ever since they started making those substitutions. Because imagine being on the sideline and watching your team go down 4-1, 5-1, 6-1. It lights a fire under you. And that's something that was lacking for this FC Birmingham side, especially coming out of the first half. They reignited some of that with some substitutes, but it is a classic example of too little, too late. And Dalton are going to be partying all the way home in their 3-hour return journey. Bit of a fumble there from the goalkeeper. Just wants to launch this ball every time he gets it. Just pushing his team further up the pitch. That ball was definitely out. And there's the frustration coming through. Number 8 absolutely skies that ball. Sadiq, who honestly, especially in the first half, had actually a fairly decent run of form. But once again, this is a game that's, it's about how do you go all 11 members. Very interesting formation that. Go far. Ooh, ball played across. Big header. Could have been another opportunity. Speaking of which, turn here for number 7. Not able to get the ball through. Hap on the ball. Oh, that's not a good sign from your captain. Hap, looks like both of the brothers, they're not having a good night here, and it would be an absolute mercy from the referee to blow the whistle right here, right now. 91 minutes, 30-ish seconds already played. I can't imagine we're going to have any more than 1 or 2 more minutes. Ball across the box, not going to find anybody. Will be a throw-in inside of FC Birmingham. And remember, we did see one of the Hep brothers go off earlier tonight, basically about 5 minutes after coming onto the pitch. And the other one limping here, grasping at his hamstring, it looked like. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The 3 whistles will mean the end of the game, and 3 points. Very well deserved for Dalton United FC. You couldn't write a better script for Dalton to announce their arrival here in the UPSL Premier Division. FC Birmingham, they have a lot of questions to answer. That back 3 just didn't work tonight, especially that right side. Just did not work. They didn't bring those wide players back. Davis was trying to play as that defensive midfielder. Wasn't really enough to stop the attack at Dalton United. And if you can't stop Dalton, I don't want to know what's going to happen versus Rovers. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be all we have tonight for you. But it is certainly not the end of match week number 3 here in the UPSL spring season of the Premier Division. Tune back in tomorrow at 3 p.m. where we're going to be headed down to Taurus Stadium to catch the Atlanta Rovers FC game versus North Georgia United. But this has been it here from Leeds High School down in Leeds, Alabama. My name's Ben Steven Johnson. You've been watching the UPSL coverage by Atlantic Soccer Media Group. Tune in tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, as we close out match week number 3. You won't want to miss it. But that's all from us here. So, ladies and gentlemen, have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow.
This has been a presentation of the UPSL. Any use of this broadcast without the written consent of the Atlantic Soccer Media Group is prohibited.